Welcome back to Legends in My Own Mind. We are back in Thayer with the king of the town, the next icon of Central Illinois wrestling, the maximally destructive Sage Ramsey.
It's a good thing I wasn't drinking beer whenever you said that. It would have been everywhere.
Let's not spread all over my stuff.
All right. The maximally destructive.
All right, man. This is it. Week 3. This is the big week. This is the one everybody tunes in for. Ooh. Not really. This is the one this is just the one I like.
This is your favorite? Okay.
This is the one I like. Because I want to talk about your philosophies on wrestling. You ready? Got to dig deep on this one.
Oh, shit. All right. Yeah. Whatever.
All right.
See how this goes.
What is your philosophy on wrestling?
I got nothing, man. That's my philosophy on wrestling.
All right, let me ask it this way. Okay, first
Give
question.
me questions, man.
First question. Are you a good wrestler? Do you think you're a good wrestler?
I would like to think I'm a good wrestler.
Okay. What makes you a good wrestler?
I probably, in my own mind, the fact that I can work anybody.
Okay.
And I'm comfortable working with anybody, and I think I can fully have a good match with anyone.
Okay.
I think that's what makes me a good wrestler, in my opinion.
Okay.
Might be wrong, but...
So how do you approach that? How do you do that?
Well, you have to talk to them. That's for damn sure.
Talk to who?
Who you going to wrestle?
Okay. All right. So what you talk to them about?
How the match is going to go?
Yeah. Breaking my stuff?
I'm hating your stuff. You don't need it anyway, right?
Yeah, no.
What the hell you got me doing here? You're making me think way too much.
All right. So how do you have a good match with somebody?
Well, you got to figure out what your position is on the card.
Okay.
I'm not talking what your match number is.
All right.
I'm talking what your appeal is.
Okay. How do you figure that out?
Well, usually the booker tells you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what kind of? Well, okay. Let's talk about that. What kind of positions are there on the card?
There's several positions. Because the start of the show, you wanna get that crowd in there.
Okay.
You want to have a hot match right out the get go.
Okay. So what's a hot match? So if you're in the first position.
First position is you got to go grab the attention of the crowd. They're ready for wrestling. Mm-hmm. They want to see good wrestling. Yep. You don't want to go out there with a promo to start the show off. You really never do.
Right.
Because it's going to end one of two ways. It's going to be really good or it's going to be real bad.
Okay.
So if you go out there with a hot match, something entertaining, the fans are just like, whoa, what's next? Then they have the appeal and they're hooked.
Okay. How do you make a hot match?
Book good talent.
How do you make a hot match?
How do I make a good hot match?
If you're in the first spot, how do you structure that match?
I structure it as hard hitting and I don't want to say fast paced, but you wanna get everybody's attention in the crowd. You want to have your good, whether it's tag or singles, your good hot spots, the big spots. But the match, in my opinion, it doesn't have to be a 12 to 15 minute match. You can go out there and get a good 7-minute match and grab that crowd by the ass, and they're going to be tuned in for hopefully the rest of the show, or at least until the mid-show intermission.
Okay. So that's position 1.
Yeah, position 1.
What's position 2?
Position 2, follow position 1 and be good, but don't take away from. Okay. Man,
you're in position 2.
Now I'm in position 2. Now I've got to follow position 1.
Right.
And I want to keep it entertaining.
Okay. How are you going to do that? What's different? Like what's different? I mean,
it's going to be a different style match.
Okay. So you would think you would want to have a hot match no matter what.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, absolutely.
So what's the different style? What's the difference between a position 1 match and a position 2 match?
I don't think there should be any difference between any match on the card, to be honest.
All right.
If you're going to have a hot show and you're going to want a great match, you're going to want to keep the attention of the audience the whole time, which is really hard because you're going to have the first match of the opener. You get the attention. You're setting the hook. And then you've got the second match, which is like the fish on the hook. Okay. You want to keep them on there, but you're not ready to reel them in yet.
Okay. So what kind of stuff happens in match 2?
Match 2, you could do almost anything in match 2. Match 2, you want it entertaining, but I don't want to say it doesn't matter because all matches matter.
Right. What do you do when you're in position 2?
When I'm in position 2, I'm still going out there and I'm still trying to steal the show, no matter what. I want to go out there and have an entertaining match, but I don't want to be like. I don't want to take too much from the first match, and I don't want to overshadow what could be a good match on the next match.
All right. So what are you going to do? How are you going to make it entertaining? Like, how do you make your match entertaining?
I go out there and do what I do. I mean...
What do you do?
I wrestle, man. I wrestle. Sometimes I just go out there and fight.
Okay.
But, screw you. I go out there and have fun.
Okay.
And that's it. I like to go out there and captivate the crowd, entertain the crowd, and being in match 2... Man, you were really trying to get me on these.
Oh, I'm just following your train of thought. You're the one who said there's 4 positions. So I was just finding the difference in the positions. Yeah?
You're right. You son of a bitch. All right. You've got your hook.
Match 1 set the hook.
You got.
Yep, so you're good.
Match 2, you want the wiggle. You want to keep that fish on the hook. You want to keep him on there, possibly let that string go out a little bit.
Okay.
But you want to reel back in for that halftime.
Okay.
Because you want it close.
All right.
Match 3, you let him back out just a little bit more. And for that main event,
you're talking fishing.
I'm talking fishing.
You're talking fishing.
But if you think about it, it's kind of like
Well, I get it because I'm a wrestler.
Yeah.
Okay, but
you want them to get it,
right?
That's why I broke it down to fishing terms.
Well, fishing terms are fine. I mean, I see what you're saying. So you're talking about structuring a show.
Yeah.
I want to know
what I'm gonna do in match 2.
Yeah, how do you let that string out? In match 2, what does that mean in match terms and as a wrestler?
Go out there, be entertaining, get your job done, and get out the way.
Okay.
For the next guy, because you don't want to take all of it.
Okay.
You want to leave some for the next guy.
Okay.
You don't want to milk the crowd dry in your match.
Okay.
So you go out there and you have your 7-minute match. Be entertaining, but don't take it all. Leave some for the next guy.
Okay.
That's where I'm going with that.
Okay.
And you want to keep building that up, and you want to do the same thing in every match.
Right.
And let the main event have their time.
So there's more. So there's more than 1 2 position.
Yes.
Right, because there's usually more than 4 matches on a
card.
Oh,
absolutely.
Right. So there's more than 1 match that might be in that 2 position.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. All right, I get that. Okay. What's
position
position 3?
That.
What's position 3?
Same as position 2, except you're getting ready to, if you're leading into, hopefully at that point, getting close to intermission.
Okay.
It's where you want to build the audience back up if match 2 was kind of a letdown, build them back up and leave them with something, knowing that they're going into intermission, but having them ready for the next event, because then you could have match 3 and there might be a promo right after, and that promo spot could be good or it could be bad, and chances are it's not going to work out.
Okay.
But it's a 50-50 on that.
You got a real bad impression of promos. What's your promo philosophy?
I hate promos if they're not done right. I hate promos because I don't feel I'm good at promos.
Okay.
And it's not from a lack of trying, because I've tried.
Right.
And in New Midwest, you guys put everybody through promo training.
Mm-hmm.
And Rob Miller used to say all the time, don't give Troy a mic, because I'd ramble and go on like kind of this incoherently sometimes.
Don't worry, we'll edit it.
Yeah, we'll fix that.
I'm gonna make you sound sharp as a nail, sharp as a tack. I'll make you sound sharp as a tack.
That sounds great. Thank you, sir.
It's not true. I don't do any editing. God. You get the full conversation.
Get your popcorn.
So what makes a good promo?
I still haven't figured that out yet. That's why I don't have them.
Okay.
No. To me, like, I try to make a good promo, and I always hate on myself because I don't feel like I ever get my point across, or I think I do too much. So I can get the audience, and then I feel like I drop them.
Okay.
And I just never been good at a promo. Like, I could see.
Have you ever
good
seen
promos.
okay, when you see a good promo, do you know do you see that worked because do you have a concept of that?
Yes, I do have that.
So what is that? What do you think makes a good promo to watch?
Man, you're okay. My favorite promos I've ever seen is anytime CM Punk will get a mic, or Steve Austin.
Okay.
People that can just express themselves so much over the mic, and just get that crowd and lock them in. That's the best thing. And I can get them for a little bit, then somehow I lose them, and I feel like I lose them, and I'm just how do I keep them?
Yeah.
I've never been able to figure that part out.
It's tough. It's tough to shut out a promo. It's tough to finish a promo.
It really is. And I'm I can finish a match on my back or winning. I don't give a shit. But at the same time, finishing a promo, it's you're putting me in the spotlight, and I'm just
All right.
I'm sorry. That is a train.
It's all right.
You can edit that out, right?
I'll edit it out. We'll give it a second.
Okay.
I'll ask that other train went by and didn't seem. I don't think it will have picked that. I heard a train go by. I don't think it will have picked that one up. That one's hey, I'm going to blow the horn right in this window here.
It's going the opposite way.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Because this one here is going north, so it's blowing the horn. No, wait, this one's going south, isn't it?
Oh, that's me.
I can't tell. I know there's a crossing right over there, and that's south.
Sounds like it's going south.
Yeah, it is going south. And they have to blow the horn right here to get that track ready, or the crossing ready.
Right.
Whereas if it's coming this way, we won't hear it because it's already past the crossing.
Gotcha.
Sometimes they do that. It's 3:30 in the morning.
I'm sure.
Honk, honk, bitches. What?
All right. So, coming back to position number 4.
Aha.
What's position number 4?
Nap time.
Nap time?
No, I'm just kidding.
Seems like a bad position.
Yeah. No, that's the way I broke it down. For position 4 is pre-main.
Okay.
And that's where you're trying to give your first best last match,
Okay.
And you want them to go all out and do whatever they got to do, but just leave enough on there for the rest of the show.
All right.
So you go out there and you give it, but you don't take it all.
Okay.
And that's where I think that match is. And number 4 should just be the bow on top.
Okay.
And make it perfect. I've always loved working pre-main.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I can always leave that person a good spot.
Okay.
I love working open.
Right.
Middle, I'm kind of but then again, you put me on a show, I'm a heavy man.
Okay.
But yeah.
So it sounds to me like we're adding, if position 4 is pre-main, are you adding the 5th spot, a 5th position?
Well, that's main.
Okay.
Well, no, wait. Not. Oh, you done. Yeah, you done took me to a whole new level. I think you did this on purpose.
I didn't do anything. I am merely.
You're merely following what I was saying.
I'm only breaking down what you said. You said there's 4 positions, and then we got to position 4.
Yeah.
And you're
Okay.
like,
Yeah.
Well, that's the.
I forgot
That's the pre-main.
I think I might have thought about putting like intermission as third or something. I don't.
Okay.
This is your favorite segment. I'm starting to hate it. You're making me overthink and think too much. But I like it. Weird. Yeah.
So
the show's over.
So the main event.
Main event. Yes. Main event.
What's the main
The
event?
coup de grace. The end of the show. But at the same time, is it really the end? Because I feel like the main event should also have that spot where it's awesome, epic, but also now they've got the responsibility of setting up for the next show.
Okay.
And that's it.
So how do you do that? As somebody who's wrestled a lot of main events, how do you find that between
Who's wrestled a lot of main events?
You.
Okay, a handful.
You were on top for how long at RCW?
Good call.
You're in the top of how long for RCW? Yeah. You've been at the top multiple times at New Midwest. I get it. You came in on top at PWA. Right?
Yeah.
You've been bragging. You spent all last episode bragging about what it's like owning and being the top guy.
Oh. There's the kick in the dick.
So when you're in the main event, how do you walk that line of like delivering the end of the show plus setting up for the next one? How do you do that?
Well, it always helps to know what you're doing at the next show afterwards.
Okay.
It always does. And I think there's so many ways you could do it, and I've always felt that like even if you're not in that spot, you still want to make that spot huge.
Okay.
To where if there's somebody else that's going to be involved, or if you're the champion, even because main event doesn't have to be a championship match.
Okay. Right. Yeah.
But it's going to lead to somewhere.
Okay. So what makes a match a main event?
I think the caliber of the match, or the meaning behind the match, the build for the match, because you could be building a story for so long and then just be like, okay, this is the biggest match of the year or whatever, and that's going to be your main event for that, and your championship match could pre-main.
Right.
And that's happened on multiple occasions all over. And it's just the building and the storylines. Everything's going to be based on the stories. And me, I've always loved stories. So if you're going to do shows, may as well have storylines. Whereas, like, going back to the end of New Midwest, there was no stories. Yeah. It was just whatever it was, it was. Yeah. So I've always liked the storylines, and that's where PWA is, like, number one right now, because they have all these stories again. And, like, right now, I'm, like, my position in the company, I don't have a story.
Okay.
But I have fun.
Yeah.
So whatever they give me, I'm happy with. I don't care. You can put me in a match with a paper bag, and I'll put that bag over. I don't give a shit as long as it's fun. Don't do that.
No, I won't. Okay. So if your big thing is stories,
yes.
What makes a good story? How do you tell a good wrestling story?
The Book of Man tells you how to do it. No, all the ideas, because you could build a good story from nothing, and you got to have the right people in play for it. And as I said, whether it's 2 people, 4 people, whatnot, if you can get a crowd behind 2 people and follow them, like, okay, you got the champion, you got opponent, and you got this guy fighting his ass off to try and get this. If you can make it believable for 4 to 6 months, and this guy just keeps getting his ass whooped or keeps getting cheated somehow, and you give it the right build, it's going to be great. But it depends on the people. It really does, because you can do it with some, you can't do it with all.
Okay.
And I can't throw any names out there because I don't want to hurt any feelings.
Yeah.
But
so what do you need? What do you need in a wrestler to tell a good story? Then
you need them, and I feel that you need them to believe in it. Because if they don't believe in it, they're not going to do it.
Yeah.
And if they don't give it 100%, it's going to be shit.
Okay.
So I mean, if you give them the idea and say, hey, this is what we have for this idea, are you good with this? And they're just like, then maybe they're not the right person for that position. So if you have the right people and the right ideas, as I said, you can make a story out of damn near anything these days. It's a damn soap opera. I hate to say that, but it really is. And you get the right people and the right idea, and you get the right flow, and it's just going to be great. Whether the fans like it or not, it's going to be great. But you really want the fans to like it, so you got to work your ass off to make them like it. That's probably the hardest part.
How do you do it? How do you get the fans?
You got to believe it yourself first. If you believe it yourself, you can make somebody else believe it. So you got to put everything you got into it, and hopefully it pays off. Hopefully it pays off, and a lot of times it does.
Yeah. I think that's pretty. On that concise thought, you got to believe it to make somebody else believe it. I think that's.
I went deep on that one. Whew.
Well, I'm gonna stop torturing you.
Thank you.
I don't think we could say. I think it. As a philosophy, that's a pretty concise point to say. Like, you got to believe it. You got to believe it to make somebody else believe it. I agree with that.
That really hurt my head. But I felt it there at the end, so god dang, you're good at this.
Hey, I just take your thought and expand to the next one. But next week, it'll be easy. Next week. So I think in order to get a full view of who we are as wrestlers.
Okay.
We can talk about the career. We can talk about, the backstage stuff, how you learned how to do it. We can talk about what you believe, like how it all culminates into what you believe and how you approach being a wrestler.
Okay.
But I don't think we can get a full 360, three-dimensional picture of us as wrestlers without coming back to being a fan.
Oh, okay.
So next week, we are going to finish up with your Survivor Series Dream Team.
Mogwai?
Don't feed it. Is it after? What time is it?
It's not after midnight, is it?
No, yeah. Goodness.
Wow. That was weird. It's still going.
Like, the hell is that? So,
yes.
Next week we will be back with your Survivor. I've tried to come up with like a good old school Survivor Series name for all the teams, and I just don't know what goes with like how they used to do and they had like Hogan and the Hulkamaniacs, or Hogan was the team captain for the Hulkamaniacs.
Yeah.
And the Ultimate Warrior had the Warriors, and what was the $1 million, the Big Bucks or whatever, the $1 million Man had one.
Jerry King Law had King's Court.
Yeah, stuff like that. I've been trying to come up with one for all of us. I don't know what's gonna go with Sage and the Spices, Sage's Spice Rack, something like that.
Oh, Sage's Spice Rack.
I'm not sure what it's gonna be.
Oh wow.
But we will be back next week with Sage Ramsey and his Survivor Series Dream Team.
Yeah, check out my Spice Rack.